Yes, you are listening to the Music and Culture podcast with me, Mandla Gingirikani. Thank you very much for joining us this side. We really, really appreciate your time. If it's your first time, please do the right thing. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Whatever makes sense for you, just do it. So this story of Chidimma Adetshina and Miss South Africa, I would say also Home Affairs, is getting more interesting. It's getting more interesting because now the department has gone to dig. So for those who are not familiar with the story, is that there's a lady who is suspected to be a Nigerian or of Nigerian descent who is currently participating in the Miss South Africa pageant, and South Africans went up in arms on Twitter and other social networks to protest, to say no, this lady Adetshina is not South African. She cannot represent South Africa in a beauty pageant. Please investigate. Well, Twitter was abuzz and people were accused of being xenophobic and all. There's been a lot of debates with South Africans who are siding with Adetshina, and also some South Africans also siding with the trying to seek that for the truth. So the department went to dig and they found some explosive revelations.
Hello South Africa, my name is Chidimma Adetshina. I'm 23 years old, all the way from Cape Town. I'm a netball player and an LLB law student.
Very explosive revelations have been found that it looks like Chidimma Adetshina's mother may have committed fraud. She may have committed fraud of identity theft. We know the story of IDs in South Africa. We've once had an incident here where a South African boy from Soweto went to hold the Department of Home Affairs hostage with a gun, with a toy gun, because he could not be issued with a South African ID. Based on complications, it looks like his ID number was reflecting somewhere. So this is a big issue in South Africa. Identity theft is a big issue in South Africa. Yeah, so it looks like Chidimma Adetshina's mother may have committed fraud, and that has denied a South African mother an ID somewhere. We don't know what's her name. We don't know where she lives. We would want to know. But we cannot now blame everything on Chidimma. I feel like South Africans need to shift their blame from Chidimma to her mother, because it's not her fault. In 2001, when all this fraud was committed, she wasn't there. She wasn't there. She was just an infant. She was still an infant, so she cannot bear the brand of all this comeback at her. It can't be. Does it mean now that her matrix certificate is invalid? If she's married, does it mean now her marriage certificate is also invalid? Her driver's license, her degree. Dude, like, this is going explosive as it can get. And it's getting worse and worse minute by minute as this department is doing the digging. Let's listen in to the Department of Home Affairs talking about this issue.
Affairs has found prima facie indications of fraud committed by Chidimma Adetshina's mother. The Department of Home Affairs herewith provides an update on the ongoing investigation into the citizenship of Miss Chidimma Adetshina, a contestant in the upcoming Miss SA event. The reason for the ongoing nature of the investigation is that its scope has broadened since the original request received from the organizers of Miss SA, based on the information uncovered by Home Affairs investigators thus far. The department nonetheless provides this update to the public based on that official request and consent. We will provide a final update once the investigation is concluded. Upon receiving the request for investigation, the department deployed every resource at its disposal to establish the truth. This has included archival research, visits to hospitals, and site visits to verify information. From the information we have uncovered thus far, the Department of Home Affairs can indicate that prima facie reasons exist to believe that fraud and identity theft may have been committed by the person recorded in Home Affairs records as Chidimma Adetshina's mother. Adetshina herself could not have participated in the alleged unlawful actions of her mother, as she was an infant at the time when the activities took place in 2001. An innocent South African mother, whose identity may have been stolen as part of the alleged fraud, suffered as a result because she could not register her child. The department has broadened its investigation to identify and pursue any officials involved in the alleged scheme, and is obtaining legal advice on the implications of the alleged fraudulent activity on Adetshina's citizenship status. And finally, upon the completion of the investigation, Home Affairs intends to press criminal charges and convict all implicated parties. This case, which stems from alleged fraudulent activities committed 23 years ago, highlights the urgent need for the digital modernization of Home Affairs applications, adjudication, and verification processes to insulate the department against fraudulent interference, similar to the reforms undertaken at the South African Revenue Service in the late 2000s. The case also highlights the reason for the department's blocking of certain duplicate IDs, and that the court-ordered unblocking of these documents must be handled with caution. Throughout this process, Home Affairs is guided by our commitment to both restoring and upholding the rule of law as well as the rights of all parties.
Okay, that's interesting. Now they're going to press charges. But I'm worried about the South African mother whom her identity was stolen. That is she going to be compensated? You know, are we gonna know? Are we gonna find out who she is? Where does she live? What opportunities her children or her child may have missed because of this whole debacle? You know, we would want to know. Chidimma, to be honest, it's not her fault. We can only blame her mother because it's the mother that committed all these fraudulent activities, and also the Home Affairs employees or staff members who participated in this fraudulent activity. Are they going to be sought after? Are they going to be arrested? Are they going to be questioned? I'd like to find out what other information are we not being given here in terms of what was really stolen. Was it the South African woman's ID that was stolen in terms of the identity? Or was it an opportunity to register a child which was now given to Adetshina's mother through these activities? Like, what really happened? Because I understand identity theft, someone posing or pretending to be someone else when they're not. It's false pretense, right? So what exactly transpired? I'd like to find out what exactly transpired, what exactly was stolen, and what does that mean for children? What future they may have missed because of this activity, because of this corruption, because of this fraud that was committed by a mother. Another question that I have is that how come the parents, knowing very well that they committed fraud, but they allowed the investigation to continue? Maybe firstly, let's ask, why would they allow their daughter to participate in a South African competition knowing very well that they obtained her ID fraudulently, knowing very well that they've obtained South African identification via the back door, but then they still push their princess to go represent South Africa at a South African pageant? There's nothing wrong with having someone with a Nigerian parents representing South Africa. I mean, guys, we've had lots of athletes in South Africa that have represented South Africa before, that we found that maybe they just obtained citizenship based on how long they stayed in South Africa or through their parents. It's possible as long as it's done lawfully. We've seen Beast Mtawarira, for example. His parents originally come from Zimbabwe. There are a lot of people that are originally from other African countries in South Africa that actually are participating and representing South Africa. But as long as those documents were obtained correctly, lawfully, I'm for all Africans. We are one. Africa is one. I'm also for the rule of law, that every country's rule of law must be respected. And I feel like South African rule of law is always trampled upon by foreign people. And foreign people, I'm not talking about Africans. I'm talking about people who come from Europe, who come from America, who come from the East. Lots of people that come from the Middle East, they come to South Africa and obtain citizenship for free via these fraudulent activities. How many South Africans have been denied opportunities because of these activities? We're going to be keeping tabs on this one. To check what are the development of the story with regard to Adetshina's fake ID and fake participation, because now it means her ID is fake, her driver's license is fake, her degree is fake, her matric certificate is fake. If she's married, it means her marriage is fake. Her mother was irresponsible. Her parents were very irresponsible to let her even go and participate. They could have just hidden themselves and just enjoy South African sun and become a doctor or whatever, not trying to represent South Africa at a South African pageant. But the mother is to blame. This one I'll leave it here until we meet again next time. Salute, Mingatiti Mail.